Welcome back to our channel, World Coins History. As you knew that old is gold, but these rare states $quarter coins that are most valuable than you think, don't spend one of them, so please watch complete video and find your treasure. Let's start this. Top 1. Today, we're going to take a closer look at one of the state quarters that has captured the attention of collectors all across the country, the United States $quarter from Montana, released in 2007. At first glance, it may look like just another quarter, but trust me, this coin carries a lot more than spare change value. Stick with me, because by the end of this video, you'll understand why this coin is so fascinating, why collectors chase it, and just how much it could be worth in today's market. The Montana quarter is part of the highly popular 50-state quarters program, which ran from 1999 to 2008. Each coin in this series highlighted a state's unique history, culture, or natural beauty, and Montana's design is certainly one that turns heads. The quarter was released in early 2007, making it the 41st state quarter issued, and it quickly became a favorite among collectors and history lovers alike. On the reverse, the Montana quarter proudly displays the image of a bison skull set against the backdrop of Montana's sweeping landscape, with rugged mountains and open skies. The design might surprise some people because instead of a living animal, Montana chose a skull. But there's deep meaning behind it. The bison skull represents the cultural heritage of Montana and its Native American traditions, where such imagery symbolizes reverence for life, respect for the land, and the natural cycle of life and death. It's powerful, it's bold, and it's unlike any other state quarter design. Above the skull, the words "Big Sky Country" appear, reminding us of Montana's nickname, known for its wide-open skies and breathtaking scenery. The obverse, of course, carries the familiar portrait of George Washington, as seen across all quarters. Now, what makes the Montana quarter exciting for collectors isn't just the design, but also the rarity of finding certain versions in special conditions. These coins were struck at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints, and while millions were made for circulation, finding one that has survived in pristine, uncirculated condition is far less common. Collectors pay strong attention to quarters graded by professional services at the highest levels, because those can fetch serious money at auction, but it doesn't stop there. Some Montana quarters are known to have minting errors that make them even more desirable. Error coins are like hidden treasures, because each mistake makes the coin unique. With the Montana quarter, some of the errors include off-center strikes, double strikes, and misaligned dies that create unusual or doubled images. In rare cases, there are coins struck on the wrong planchet, meaning the quarter was accidentally minted on metal meant for another coin, and those pieces can bring eye-popping values. Collectors love these because they are one of a kind, and when paired with a state quarter series as popular as this, the demand only grows stronger. The thrill of the hunt is what keeps coin lovers excited. You could have a Montana quarter in your pocket right now, and at first glance, it looks ordinary, but if you check the details carefully, the luster, the strike, and the presence of any unusual features, you might just discover that it's something extraordinary. And this is exactly why the 2007 Montana State Quarter remains one of the more talked about coins from the series. Now here's the part you've been waiting for. If you're lucky enough to have a Montana quarter from 2007 in the absolute best, mint state condition, or if you happen to come across one with a rare minting error, the value can climb far beyond face value. At auction, some of these coins have sold for as much as $3,000, and even standard high-grade examples can command impressive prices far higher than just 25 cents. So the next time you're looking through your change, don't overlook that quarter with the bison skull. It could be the difference between spare change and a collector's prize. Top 2, we're taking a journey into the beauty of America's wilderness through a coin that celebrates one of the most breathtaking natural parks in the country. We're talking about the United States $quarter from Yosemite, issued in 2010. At first glance, it might just look like another coin from the America the Beautiful series, but for collectors, this quarter holds stories, history, and in some cases, incredible value. Stay with me until the very end, because I'll reveal just how much these coins have sold for in the real market and at auctions. The Yosemite quarter was released in 2010 as part of the America the Beautiful Quarters program, a series that began after the famous state quarters program ended in 2008. Instead of honoring states, This new series was designed to celebrate America's national parks and landmarks. Yosemite, located in California, is one of the most iconic parks in the world, known for its towering granite cliffs, waterfalls, and natural beauty. Millions of people visit the park every year, and this coin was meant to capture its timeless majesty. On the reverse side of the coin, you'll see a stunning image of El Capitan, one of Yosemite's most famous landmarks. Rising nearly 3,000 feet from the valley floor, El Capitan is a symbol of strength, endurance, and natural wonder. The detail on the coin brings out the sheer rock face, making it stand out as one of the most striking designs in the entire America the Beautiful series. The obverse side carries the familiar portrait of George Washington, as seen on all quarters, but the Yosemite quarter stands out because of its breathtaking reverse design that instantly connects with anyone who has ever admired the park's beauty. Now, let's talk about rarity and collector appeal. The Yosemite quarter was minted in Philadelphia, Denver, and also in San Francisco for proof issues. While millions of these were struck for circulation, the condition of the coin makes all the difference. Coins that entered circulation often show scratches, wear, and marks from use. However, finding one in mint state condition, with sharp details and full luster, can make it far more valuable to collectors. Proof versions, especially those struck in silver, are also highly prized, as they were produced in smaller numbers and have a mirror-like finish that makes them stand out. What really excites collectors are the rare minting errors that occurred on some Yosemite quarters. These include off-center strikes, doubled dies where the details appear doubled on certain parts of the coin, and coins struck on the wrong planchet. Each of these mistakes makes the coin unique, and because error coins are always rarer than regular strikes, their values can skyrocket. Even a small error can make a big difference in price, especially for a coin from such a beloved series. For collectors, the Yosemite quarter represents more than just money. It's a piece of American history and a tribute to one of the nation's most beautiful natural wonders. Holding this coin feels like holding a little piece of Yosemite itself, captured forever in metal. That combination of artistry, history, and potential rarity is what makes it so appealing to those who love the hobby. And now, the moment you've been waiting for, the value. A regular Yosemite quarter found in circulation might only be worth face value, but if you happen to own one in pristine, uncirculated condition, or even better, a rare error coin, the value jumps dramatically. Some of these coins have sold in the real market and at auctions for as much as $2,000, proving that even a single quarter can hold surprising treasure. So the next time you come across a 2010 Yosemite quarter, don't dismiss it as just another coin in your change. Take a closer look at the details, the condition, and any possible errors. You never know, you could be holding something far more valuable than 25 cents. Top 3, we're taking a closer look at one of the fascinating coins from the America the Beautiful Quarters program, the United States quarter dollar from Great Basin National Park, issued in 2013. At first glance, it might look like just another quarter in your pocket, but as we'll uncover together, this coin has details, history, and even rare errors that can make it incredibly valuable to collectors. Stay with me until the very end, because I'll reveal the real market price and auction values that will surprise you. The Great Basin Quarter was the 18th release in the America the Beautiful series, and it celebrates Great Basin National Park in Nevada. This park is known for its rugged mountains, ancient trees, dark starry skies, and unique desert landscape. The reverse design of the coin highlights something very special, the famous bristlecone pine tree, which grows in the harsh climate of the park and can live for thousands of years. In fact, some bristlecone pines are among the oldest living organisms on Earth, and the design captures that sense of endurance and resilience perfectly. On the obverse side, as always, we see the portrait of George Washington, but it's the reverse with its striking tree and rocky landscape that truly makes this coin stand out. What makes this quarter even more interesting is the way collectors view it. While millions of these coins were produced at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints, along with special proof strikes from San Francisco, finding one in flawless, mint state condition is not as easy as you'd think. Circulated examples are everywhere, but coins that have never been touched by everyday use and still shine with their original luster are much harder to come by. Collectors chase after those higher-grade examples, and grading can make a huge difference in value, but rarity doesn't only come from condition. What really sparks excitement among coin enthusiasts are minting errors, and the Great Basin quarter has its share. Some known errors include off-center strikes, which leave the design shifted on the coin, and die cracks that show raised lines across the surface. Others include double dies, where certain details, like letters or parts of the tree, appear doubled. There are even cases of coins struck on the wrong planchet, which is when a quarter is accidentally struck on a metal blank meant for another denomination. These error coins are far scarcer than the regular strikes and can command impressive prices because no two error coins are exactly alike. For collectors, that uniqueness is irresistible. The Great Basin quarter also has appeal because of its symbolism. The bristlecone pine is a reminder of resilience, survival, and history itself, making the coin more than just money. It's a piece of art and a story captured in metal. Every time you hold one, it's like holding a little piece of Nevada's wild beauty in your hand. That combination of natural wonder, artistry, and the thrill of rarity is why this coin continues to capture the attention of collectors and casual coin hunters alike. Now, let's talk about value. A circulated Great Basin quarter will usually only be worth its face value of 25 cents, but the story changes when you have a high-grade uncirculated example or, even better, one of those rare error coins. In the real market and at auctions, some of these quarters have sold for as much as $1,500, proving that something as ordinary as a quarter can turn into an extraordinary treasure. So, the next time you come across a 2013 Great Basin quarter, don't overlook it. Check its condition carefully, look for any unusual features or errors, and who knows, you might be holding onto a coin that's worth far more than you expect. Top 4. We're traveling to the Silver State itself to uncover the story of the United States quarter dollar from Nevada, released in 2006. At first glance, it's a beautiful design that celebrates the state's proud heritage, but as we'll see, this coin can carry much more than just face value. Stay tuned until the very end, because I'll reveal the real market price and auction values that will leave you amazed. The Nevada quarter was part of the wildly popular 50-state quarters program, which began in 1999 and became one of the most collected coin series in U.S. history. Each coin celebrated the uniqueness of a different state, and when Nevada's turn came in 2006, it didn't disappoint. On the reverse, the design features 3 galloping wild mustangs, symbols of freedom, independence, and the rugged spirit of the West. Behind them, you see snow-capped mountains and the rising sun, a reminder of Nevada's natural beauty. Surrounding it all is sagebrush, the official state flower, framing the mustangs in a way that captures the wild, untamed energy of the region. Of course, the obverse carries the classic portrait of George Washington, but it's that dramatic reverse scene that makes the Nevada quarter so iconic. Now, while millions of these coins were produced by both the Philadelphia and Denver mints, collectors know that not all quarters are created equal. Condition matters more than anything. A coin that's been circulated and shows where will usually remain at face value, but one preserved in pristine, mint state condition can be worth far more. Professional grading services carefully examine these coins, and the highest grades, those with perfect luster, sharp strikes, and no visible marks, are the ones collectors pay premiums for. But what truly excites coin hunters are the rare minting errors that can be found on some Nevada quarters. These errors make the coins unique, and their scarcity can skyrocket their value. Some Nevada quarters have been discovered with off-center strikes, where the design isn't properly aligned on the coin. Others have double die errors, where parts of the design or lettering appear doubled. And in very rare cases, coins have been struck on the wrong planchet. Imagine a quarter design ending up on a blank meant for a dime or a nickel. These types of mistakes make the coin one of a kind, and collectors will pay strong prices to add them to their collections. What also makes the Nevada quarter special is its symbolic connection to the state. Nevada is known for its mining history, its wide-open spaces, and its wild mustangs, which roam freely across the desert plains. Capturing all of that on a small piece of metal makes this coin more than just money. It's a piece of art, a piece of history, and for collectors, a piece of treasure. That's why even years after its release, people are still searching for the Nevada quarter, especially in top condition or with those fascinating errors. So, what about value? A standard Nevada quarter in circulation might only be worth 25 cents, but if you're lucky enough to have one in high mint state grade, or better yet, one with a rare error, its value changes dramatically. In the real market and at auctions, some Nevada quarters have sold for as much as $2,500, turning what most people see as spare change into a serious collector's prize. That's why it's always worth checking your change carefully. You never know when you might come across a coin like this, hiding in plain sight. A Nevada quarter could be more than just a reminder of the silver state, it could be your ticket to a valuable discovery. Top 5. We're diving into one of the most talked about quarters from the America the Beautiful series, the United States quarter dollar from Lowell, released in 2019. At first glance, it may look like just another quarter, but once you understand its design, its history, and the rare errors that exist, you'll see why collectors have been buzzing about this coin since the moment it was released. Stick with me until the very end, because I'll reveal the real market price and auction values that have shocked many collectors. The Lowell quarter was issued in 2019 as part of the America the Beautiful Quarters program, which ran from 2010 through 2021, celebrating national parks and historic sites across the country. This particular coin honors Lowell National Historical Park in Massachusetts, a site that represents the birthplace of America's Industrial Revolution. The design of the coin instantly transports you back to the early 19th century, when textile mills were booming, and factory work was transforming the nation's economy and culture. On the reverse side of the coin, you see a striking image of a female mill worker operating a power loom. Behind her stands the large clock tower of the Butte Mill, one of Lowell's most iconic buildings. The design is rich with symbolism, reminding us of the workers, especially women, whose labor helped fuel America's industrial rise. It's not just a coin, it's a piece of storytelling in metal, capturing both the history of progress and the people who powered it. The obverse, as always, features George Washington, but with the updated portrait style used for the America the Beautiful quarters, while millions of Lowell quarters were minted at the Philadelphia and Denver mints for circulation, along with special collector versions from San Francisco. Not all of these coins are equal in value. The key lies in rarity and condition. Circulated examples are everywhere, but high-grade, mint state coins that retain their original shine and flawless detail are much harder to find. Collectors pay close attention to these coins when graded by professional services, because the highest grades can dramatically increase value, but what really makes the Lowell quarter stand out is the presence of rare minting errors. And this is where things get really exciting for collectors. Some Lowell quarters have been found with double die errors, where parts of the design, such as the mill windows, the workers' hands, or even parts of the lettering, appear doubled under magnification. Others show off-center strikes or misaligned dies that give the coin an unusual, eye-catching look. There are even examples where the coin was struck on the wrong planchet, an extremely rare error that makes the piece unique. These errors are highly sought after because they turn an already collectible coin into a one-of-a-kind treasure. Another reason the Lowell quarter draws so much attention is because it marks one of the later chapters in the America the Beautiful series, a program that had already built a massive following among collectors. When you combine a beautiful design, historical significance, and the thrill of rare errors, you get a coin that captures the imagination of coin lovers everywhere. And now, the moment you've been waiting for. While most Lowell quarters in circulation will still be worth just face value, the story changes completely when you're holding one in pristine condition or with a rare error. In the real market and at auctions, some of these Lowell quarters have sold for as much as $2,500, proving that even a modern coin from just a few years ago can hold surprising and exciting value. So, the next time you come across a 2019 Lowell quarter in your change, don't pass it by too quickly. Check its condition, look carefully for errors, and remember that sometimes the most ordinary-looking coins can turn out to be extraordinary treasures. Top 6. We're diving into one of the most popular coins in the state quarter program, the United States of America quarter dollar from the year 2000, the Maryland State Quarter. Now, don't let its common appearance fool you, because this coin has an amazing history, some fascinating varieties, and error examples that have collectors paying big money for the right pieces. The Maryland quarter was released as part of the 50-State Quarters program, a series that captured the imagination of Americans everywhere. The design proudly shows the Maryland State House in Annapolis, the oldest state capitol still in continuous legislative use in the country. Around it are the inscriptions, Maryland, and 1788, marking the year Maryland joined the Union. You'll also notice the leaf clusters on both sides of the dome, symbolizing the white oak, the state tree of Maryland. It's a beautiful design with real historical weight, and that's one reason why collectors adore it. But what makes this coin truly exciting for collectors isn't just its design, it's the rarity factor and the potential errors that slipped out of the mint in 2000. Remember, when billions of these quarters were struck, mistakes were bound to happen, and those mistakes are exactly what make certain coins far more valuable today. One of the most famous errors on the Maryland quarter involves off-center strikes. If a coin wasn't perfectly aligned during minting, you'll see parts of the design cut off or missing. These off-center errors can range from slight to dramatic, and the more dramatic ones are the most valuable. Collectors especially love when the date remains visible, making the error even more desirable. Another known variety comes from double die errors, where parts of the design look double due to a die misalignment. This can show up in the lettering or the architectural details of the State House dome. If you spot extra thickness or a doubled look under magnification, you might just be holding a treasure. There are also die cracks and cuds, which are breaks in the die that leave raised metal lines or blobs on the finished coin. Some Maryland quarters show cracks near the dome or in the lettering, and these unusual patterns make them stand out to error specialists. Now let's talk rarity. While hundreds of millions of these were produced, pristine examples, especially in high mint state or proof condition, can command premium prices. Collectors will pay top dollar for coins graded at the highest levels, where the surfaces are free from scratches and the luster shines as if freshly struck. Proof versions from the San Francisco Mint, particularly the silver proofs, are especially attractive to serious collectors. So, if you have a Maryland State quarter tucked away in your collection or even rattling around in a jar of coins, don't dismiss it just yet. Take a closer look, check for those striking errors, and if it's in uncirculated or proof condition, you might be surprised at how much it's worth. Now for the part you've been waiting for, the real-world market prices. In circulated condition, these quarters are usually only worth their face value, but in higher grades the story changes quickly. Mint state examples have sold for dozens of dollars, and proof silver issues can reach into the hundreds depending on their condition. Rare error varieties, like dramatic off-center strikes or strong double dies, have crossed the auction block for hundreds of dollars, and in a few special cases even more. That's an incredible jump from a simple 25-cent piece. So coin lovers, make sure you check every Maryland quarter you come across, because you never know when you might stumble on one of these rare gems. Top 7. We're looking closely at one of the most iconic designs from the America the Beautiful Quarter series, the United States of America quarter dollar from the year 2013, the Mount Rushmore National Memorial Quarter. This coin is more than just a piece of change, it's a miniature piece of art and history that honors one of America's most famous monuments, and believe me, some examples of this quarter are worth far more than 25 cents. The Mount Rushmore quarter was released in 2013, representing South Dakota in the America the Beautiful program, which ran from 2010 through 2021. Instead of showing the entire monument like many people might expect, the designers chose something much more creative. The reverse shows a unique side perspective of the carving process itself, focusing on Thomas Jefferson and George Washington as they appear in the rock. You can actually see a worker's hand with a chisel in the design, reminding us of the enormous effort and craftsmanship that went into creating this legendary monument. Now, when we talk about rarity and collectability, this coin becomes especially fascinating. While millions were produced, collectors know to keep their eyes out for those pristine mint state examples and especially for the error coins that slipped through production. That's where the real excitement lies. One of the most talked about errors on the Mount Rushmore quarter involves double die varieties. On some coins, the doubling can be spotted in the inscriptions or even in parts of the carving detail itself. To the naked eye, it may look like a slight blur or an extra thickness to the lettering, but under magnification, it's unmistakable, and collectors will pay strong premiums for clear double dies. Another interesting error type comes from off-center strikes. Imagine seeing Washington's face shifted noticeably to the side, with blank areas of the coin showing. The more off-center the strike, the rarer and more valuable it becomes, especially if the date is still visible. There are also examples of die cracks, cuts, and other striking mishaps on this quarter. Raised lines running across the design, extra blobs of metal near the rim, or missing details caused by die wear can all add a layer of rarity that collectors love. Each one tells a story of the minting process and makes the coin truly unique, and let's not forget the special proof version struck in San Francisco. The clad and silver-proof Mount Rushmore quarters were made with extra care for collectors, with sharp detail and mirror-like fields. The silver versions in particular have a beauty and intrinsic value that appeals to both coin enthusiasts and precious metal fans. So why should you check your change for this coin? Because the Mount Rushmore design stands out, it's memorable, and certain errors or high-grade examples can turn what seems like an ordinary coin into a treasure. It's one of those coins that many collectors like to showcase in their sets, especially because of the artistic angle that makes it different from so many other state and park quarters. Now, here comes the part everyone waits for, the real-world values. In general circulation, most of these coins are worth only their face value, but uncirculated mint state examples can bring in several dollars depending on the grade. The special silver-proof versions can sell for tens of dollars or more, depending on condition. Dramatic errors like strong double dies, major off-center strikes, or rare die cuts have been sold in auctions for hundreds of dollars, and in some cases, even higher. From just a quarter to a collector's prize, that's the magic of this coin. So, the next time you come across a 2013 Mount Rushmore quarter, don't just spend it without a second thought. Give it a close inspection, check the details carefully, and who knows, you might be holding onto something far more valuable than you imagined. Top 8. We're diving into one of the most fascinating and often overlooked coins from the United States quarter dollar series, the 2009 District of Columbia quarter. At first glance, this coin may seem like just another part of the Washington, D.C. souvenir, but once you look closer, you'll realize it carries a unique story, cultural importance, and in some cases, even a surprising value that can make it a true prize in any collection. This coin was part of the special 2009 District of Columbia and U.S. Territories program, which followed right after the famous 50-state quarters program ended in 2008. Instead of representing one of the 50 states, this issue honored Washington, D.C., the nation's capital, and its design is one of the most striking and talked about in the entire series. The reverse of the coin features Duke Ellington, the legendary jazz musician, seated at a piano with his name boldly inscribed. Beneath him, the words, "Justice for All," are etched, representing not just the cultural heartbeat of Washington, D.C., but also the broader struggles and aspirations tied to equality in America. For collectors, this design stands out as the only U.S. coin to honor an African American individual directly on the reverse, making it historically significant and a must-have for any serious collector. Now let's talk about what makes the District of Columbia quarter truly exciting to coin hunters. Beyond its unique design, it's also well known for having several error varieties. These errors are where the real treasure lies, because they transform a common coin into something rare and highly valuable. One of the most famous errors is the double die. On some examples of this quarter, you can spot noticeable doubling in the words Ellington, or even in parts of the piano. To a collector, these doubled letters are like a hidden signature, instantly boosting the value of the coin far beyond face value. There are also die crack varieties found on some issues. These appear as raised lines running across the surface of the coin, often near the rim or through the design. Each one is unique, almost like a fingerprint of the minting process, and many collectors enjoy chasing after these error pieces to add character to their sets. Another exciting discovery with this coin involves off-center strikes. Imagine pulling a quarter from your change where the design isn't properly centered, Washington's face slightly cut off on one side or the piano drifting into the rim. The more dramatic the off-center, the more valuable and collectible the coin becomes, especially if the date is still visible, and we can't forget the proof version struck for collectors, especially the silver proofs. These mirror-like examples capture every fine detail of Duke Ellington's piano and the inscriptions, and they appeal to those who not only love coins but also enjoy a piece of American history and artistry presented in its finest quality. So while most District of Columbia quarters you'll see in circulation are only worth 25 cents, certain examples with sharp mint errors or pristine mint state grades are highly desirable. Collectors appreciate this coin not just for its rarity but for what it represents, the blending of art, culture, and history onto a small piece of metal that passes from hand to hand in everyday life. Now here comes the exciting part you've been waiting for, the values. In pristine uncirculated condition, the 2009 District of Columbia quarter can sell for a few dollars, but rare double die varieties and dramatic errors can sell for much higher amounts at auction. Some pieces have been reported selling for hundreds of dollars, and in the right condition, even crossing into the thousands, proving just how valuable this coin can be when the right error or preservation is found. So don't overlook this coin the next time you come across one in your pocket change. Take a closer look, grab a magnifying glass if you can, and inspect those details. That ordinary-looking quarter could actually be a hidden treasure waiting to reveal its true worth. If you enjoyed today's deep dive into the District of Columbia quarter, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell so you never miss another story about hidden treasures in coins. And let me know in the comments, have you ever found a DC quarter with an error, or do you keep one in your collection? I'd love to hear your stories. Top 9, we're taking a journey into the fascinating world of state quarters, and the spotlight is shining on the United States of America quarter dollar from Louisiana, released in 2002. This coin may look like just another piece of change rattling in your pocket, but it carries an incredible story, deep symbolism, and for collectors, some examples can be worth far more than just 25 cents. So, stay tuned as we dive into the beauty, rarity, and hidden treasures behind this coin. The Louisiana quarter was the 18th design in the famous 50-state quarters program, one of the most beloved coin series ever released by the United States Mint. Each coin honored a different state, and Louisiana's design is among the most striking and meaningful. On the reverse of this coin, you'll see an outline of the state itself along with a pelican, the state bird, proudly displayed. There's also a trumpet with musical notes flowing from it, symbolizing Louisiana's status as the birthplace of jazz, one of America's greatest cultural contributions to the world. The design also features the inscription, Louisiana Purchase, and a map marking the land that doubled the size of the nation back in 1803. This single quarter packs an incredible amount of history and culture into its small surface, but beyond its beauty, collectors are always looking at rarity, and that's where things get interesting. The Louisiana quarter was minted in large numbers for circulation, but as with all state quarters, condition matters. Coins that have been well preserved in mint state condition, free from scratches, wear, or blemishes, are far harder to come by, and they command much higher prices than worn examples. Even more exciting for collectors are the errors and varieties tied to this coin. Some Louisiana quarters are known to have double die errors, where parts of the design appear doubled. Imagine looking closely at the trumpet or the inscriptions and seeing extra outlines or thickness in the letters. That's the kind of error that collectors go crazy for. These double die examples are rare, and their values can soar well beyond the usual prices. There are also examples with off-center strikes, where the design isn't properly aligned on the coin. Sometimes this leaves part of the design cut off, with blank space where detail should be. The more dramatic the shift, the rarer and more valuable the coin becomes, especially if the date remains visible. Another type of collectible error comes from die cracks or cuds. These are raised lines or blobs of extra metal on the surface of the coin caused by a damaged die. Each one is unique, almost like a fingerprint, making those coins stand out to collectors who love oddities and one-of-a-kind finds. And let's not forget the proof versions of this coin. The Louisiana quarter was also struck in special collector editions at the San Francisco Mint, both in clad and in silver. These proof coins, with their mirror-like surfaces and sharp details, are far rarer than the standard circulation strikes. The silver proofs, in particular, carry both numismatic and intrinsic metal value, making them doubly appealing to coin lovers. So while the Louisiana quarter is one you might see from time to time in change, the truth is that the most valuable examples are hidden treasures. Those with pristine mint luster or dramatic errors can fetch significant amounts in the collector's market. Now, here's the moment you've been waiting for, the real-world values. Most Louisiana quarters in circulation are only worth their face value, but uncirculated mint state examples can be worth several dollars. Silver-proof versions can sell for tens of dollars depending on condition. And when it comes to dramatic errors like strong double dies, significant off-center strikes, or unique die cracks, some examples have been known to sell at auction for hundreds of dollars, with especially rare pieces climbing even higher into the thousands. So don't underestimate the Louisiana quarter sitting quietly in your pocket change. It's not just a coin, it's a snapshot of history, a celebration of culture, and in some cases, a miniature treasure chest waiting to be discovered. Top 10 and last unique coin. We're taking a closer look at one of the most breathtaking coins from the America the Beautiful series, the 2015 United States $quarter honoring Bombay Hook National Wildlife Refuge in Delaware. At first, it may just look like another shiny quarter, but trust me, this coin carries hidden stories, beautiful symbolism, and in some cases, surprising value that can turn an ordinary coin into a prized collectible. Released in 2015. The Bombay Hook quarter was the fourth design that year in the America the Beautiful program, which ran from 2010 to 2021. It celebrates the Bombay Hook National Wildlife Refuge, a sanctuary for thousands of birds, wetlands, and natural beauty along Delaware's coast. The design captures this perfectly. On the reverse, you'll see two graceful herons, one standing in the foreground with every detail of its feathers visible, and another wading in the shallow water of the marsh. The background stretches into peaceful wetlands, giving the coin a calm and elegant appearance. It's one of the most artistic and naturalistic designs of the entire series, and that alone makes it popular with collectors. But as collectors know, it's not just about the design, it's about rarity, errors, and condition. The Bombay Hook quarter was minted in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, including circulation strikes, special collector proofs, and even silver proofs. While millions of circulation coins were made, most ended up in pockets, cash registers, and jars, so finding one in pristine, untouched mint state condition is far less common. Those untouched examples are the ones that really excite collectors. Even more thrilling are the error coins that have been discovered. Some Bombay Hook quarters show double die varieties, where parts of the design, like the heron's beak, legs, or inscriptions, appear doubled under magnification. These double details make the coin instantly more valuable, because every double die is a unique minting anomaly. Another type of collectible error comes from off-center strikes. Imagine finding a Bombay Hook quarter where the heron or the inscriptions are noticeably shifted to one side, leaving blank metal showing. The more dramatic the misalignment, the rarer and more desirable the coin becomes. Collectors have also reported die cracks and cuts on this quarter, little raised lines or blobs of extra metal caused by a damaged die. These small flaws are like signatures from the minting process. No two are exactly the same, and they add a layer of uniqueness that collectors love to hunt down. And let's not forget the proof coins from San Francisco. The clad proof versions shine with mirror-like fields, while the silver proofs sparkle with both artistry and precious metal content. These are highly sought after for collections, and pristine graded examples often carry strong premiums. So what makes this coin so appealing overall? It's the combination of artistry, symbolism, and rarity. The design connects directly with nature lovers and coin enthusiasts alike. The errors and special strikes make it a fun treasure hunt for anyone looking to spot something unusual. And the silver-proof versions appeal to both numismatists and bullion collectors. Now, let's talk about what you've been waiting for, the values. A regular Bombay Hook quarter from circulation is usually just worth its face value of 25 cents. However, high-grade uncirculated examples can sell for several dollars, and silver proofs can be worth tens of dollars depending on condition. Error coins like double dies, dramatic off-center strikes, and die cracks have sold at auction for hundreds of dollars, and in some rare cases, examples in pristine condition with strong errors have reached into the thousands. So the next time you see a Bombay Hook quarter in your change, don't just spend it without looking. Take a closer look at the details, check the condition, and you might be holding onto something truly special. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss another story about coins with hidden treasures. And let me know in the comments, have you ever found a Bombay Hook quarter, or maybe even spotted an error? I'd love to hear your experiences. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, keep hunting, keep collecting, and never forget that even the smallest coin can carry history, beauty, and unexpected value.